Only a shorty though, so they're not really able to aggress too much. So Fufo should be able to hang on to his life and actually manages to pick up a kill as well on the Mr. C. That gives the early advantage, and it's just gonna allow BOBA to take the aggression into this C site, knowing that they can play the trades and the defenses are gonna be stretched a little bit thin. Player that you were talking about just earlier TPs into the back of the site with a shorty, and Rudy is going to find this first kill for the defense, but it's traded back by Colo. Celio is just trying to hold on here, but it's not looking great. Utility coming in, and Fufu with the flank coming around is going to secure this round.
5-0-2, and it looks like they've been playing very well.
Yeah, I mean, so far looking pretty well. Maybe a stand-in, or perhaps they're looking to mix things up in their roster. You said so far a decent start as
RME.
Yeah, it looks like RME has no clue that Fufu is in the position that he's in. With the plant going down, they will be at least hopefully prepared for somebody playing this position. It's not uncommon for it to be taken, especially in a post plant. Looks like Gigaberry is going to be prepared for the swing and is going to collect Fufu so that it evens up the man count, which means Cello is getting confident to push onto the site, throws out the Dizzy to try and get a little bit of information on a little bit of initiation. Has the wingman for the spike, but is waiting it out just a little bit so that Nemesis can lurk up and get the kill. So now it's all up to the Dune players. Nemesis still pushing forward and is just gonna keep on applying this pressure. Colo, it's gonna have to be a 1v2, and it's not gonna happen, as luckily the bonus will be avoided here for RME. Clay is as well talking about aggressive controllers. Never one to shy away from an engagement.
Zelo picks up Fufu as it's back to a 4-4 in this round. They do have a free C site, and we know how strong BOBA's C site is. They almost always went to this in their last match against Honeydew. So I'm really interested to see how RME is going to do on this retake, as they don't have the most amount of time as they rotate over from A, but we have seen that RME so far is able to put pressure on them.
Yeah, Nemesis is even on a Sheriff, so they don't have all the firepower that they would possibly want. So CeeLo's going to opt to invest the Thrash here, and he even gets canceled out as the Nightfall comes out as well. Mr. Seed manages to pick up 2 kills. Tofu to trade it back, but this is starting to spiral. Fossey manages to wrestle 2 kills back, though, and has managed to weather this storm, as Tofu is also going to throw out the eye. Not spotting out Gigaberry, but there's no time. And off the back of the efforts of Fossey, this is going to be a 3rd round here for BOBA. This has been clinical from BOBA.
Yeah, definitely. BOBA's showing, I think, an even better performance right now as they did against Honeydew, but Fufu's going to find Rudy, and Rudy does find the pick onto him, but Colo gets it back as we get trades on A.
Yeah, definitely a lot of pace to this round. Trades going back and forth. It's going to equalize to a 2v2. Both sides taking heavy damages, but the Rolling Thunder on Colo is still up. Showstopper on Nemesis, so we could see this round get kind of weird. It depends on who's going to pull the trigger first, it feels like. One of these 2 players has to be proactive with their ult.
Really interesting, as I don't think RME is expecting Colo where he is with how the site is planned out, but they do find him now, though.
Colo's position confirmed, and the wingman is even going to go out onto the spikes, so Jiggly Tofu has to peek out and give away his position. So Stopper and Rolling Thunder both spent, so it's going to force Colo to play a bit more passive here off the stun, and Colo's cleaned up, so this could be an RME round as it's a 2v1, but there's no time. The time is too down. It's too slow from RME. Kills here for GME. That isn't immediately answered back by the side of BOBA. Yeah, whip shot there. Rudy is gonna spell a very disastrous site take. Fossey even taking out Nemesis on the way in. So this is just so rough now for RME, as you have multiple players tagged up, and it's once again a post plan. Nightfall is gonna come in, so it's gonna force a lot of these players to low HP, and the Thrash is gonna come in once again. It's actually gonna hit the detain. So for now, it is a 3v4. You have to add some pace to this if you are GME. And Sela is actually going to manage to get 1, but Clay is a strong player in the clutch, has picked up 1. It's pandemonium in the site as Wingman is just defusing, but Rudy, a player you said you wanted to see step up, brings out a 4K to secure another round for RME. 2 ultimates just to be able to barely pull off that retake. It still took heroics out of Rudy. A 4K picked up and it was brought down to 2 players. Nemesis even a little bit panicked in the Sato, and Foss is going to get a double with the paint shells. This is all falling apart for RME, and I think we're seeing Lotus wrapped up with a nice little bow. Like they have a very fair shot into this round. Wouldn't blame them. They're surely playing with a lot of confidence. Rudy Rojo's, though, still having this confidence to push forward and going for such an aggressive deep lead play, and actually manages to slip the net. He gets 2 onto Fufu and Colo. Very interesting play, and that's what we've been wanting to see out of Rudy, getting the timing that he needed for that.
Yeah, like I was talking before, Rudy can make those plays, and it can either work or go terribly, and right there, it did really well.
Yeah, it's sort of the duality of those aggressive players. They can make some really interesting miracle plays happen, but when they're not going well, it just feels so brutal. As CeeLo, she's gonna clean up the last kill at zone. Now it's at least 4 secured here for RME.
Good things, but the team just hasn't given her much.
Yeah, I mean, looking to pick up a couple of more rounds maybe, but Clay's just turning up the aggression with that Stinger. Traded back, but has set up at least a even man count in this eco for the side of BOBA, so maybe they can make a little bit of magic happen here, as it looks like the attack might be rotating into the B site, or perhaps the C as well, but there's some trap plays actually set up for this. I don't know if they'll clear Fufu. Only a classic, so... Oh, it is. Oh, what a shot from Mr. Seed. They did get full cleared, but I didn't expect something that crispy.
Mr. Seed just expects this by now from BOBA, and was completely correct. They put on the site, and Jigglytofu does find 1.
Yeah, Tofu picking up 1, so this could be where we see this ending possibly, as Tofu gets another one onto Mr. Seed. It's going to be up to Nemesis, but he's only good for 1, and
Ooh.
Colo cleans it up. Put him on the main roster.
As it looks like they're going to be heading up through, and Nemesis going for a quick early play. Polo finding the first Rudy, as it looks like they're going to get a free plant site on the side of RME, and everyone's playing towards the heaven side, so Nemesis might find a pick. Giga takes down Fufu, and Clays actually gets a pick on Nemesis with the snakebite. And it's going to be a 4-on-3 retake, but we do have Gigaberry on the flank. This could be really scary for the side of BOBA as they push in. Like they get the elbow, plays, and Jigglytofu finds 1, Mr. Seed finds 2, but I mean, Gigaberry versus Tofu on the last on site. Tofu might just half it, and he does, as Gigaberry looks for the swing pick and can't find Tofu as he picks up the round for BOBA, and they start off strong once again.
But even further, it feels like it just sort of, I don't know about you, but I feel like it would almost affect my mental if I was in a 1v5 on an eco and I get paranoia swung by that. I mean, I just feel like that would sort of get to me, you know? Feels a bit overkill almost.
Looks like we have a 4v4, and I mean, the bomb is mid, so they have B site, but the bomb is nowhere near as we got teleport from Colo and Garage.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, that teleport from Colo is going to clean up CeeLo. Nemesis keeping this at least competitive at a 3v3, cleans up his rival in that of Fossey. Colo is going to continue to be such a lurking presence, and what a double swing from Colo and Jigglytofu. Perfect timing on that pinch. Don't know if Clays will be ready for Gigaberry, and isn't quite ready for that gunfight. So Gigaberry is going to manage to clean 1 up. 1 confirmed to be at CT, so it's going to be a double clear, just stacking up and trying to go for this retake quickly. Paranoia will be spent to just guarantee that CT position, and that's just going to allow RME to rotate all the way back to site and ramp to hold this. They're playing for the time. Oh no, do we have a disconnect from Rudy. It looked like it was a disconnect from Rudy, but able to get around the corner just in time. Gigaberry has to hold strong here, and he's not able to get a single one. It is planted for Rudy, and Paranoia will go out. So should be able to confirm this round as the double spray through the smoke comes through, and we've got our first round here for RME. Misses the mark, and do manage to get the opening pick here onto Clays, but still weaker weaponry as Fufo is just going to lurk through and clean up Gigaberry.
He heard all of that, so he knows they're going B as the Nightfall hits down too, and they get free sight, but it is a 4v4, and they only have one gun with Nemesis.
I mean, even the repositioning of the tripwires from Fufo, that one put a little bit deeper into the site to cover the push-up. Oh, what a push, though, from Rudy Rojos as Bucky is going to claim their life of Fufo. Colo able to trade one back, so it's even man count, but it just keeps going back and forth as CeeLo gets one as well. Nemesis picking up another, so now Showstopper available. It's all up to Nemesis to close this out. Fossey, who has not been super strong on split thus far, is going to throw out the paint shells and even dodge the ultimate there, but cleaned up by Nemesis at the very end. And so now it's a second round here and a breath of life from RME. By any stretch of the imagination, especially in a 13-4 victory, you're not really looking too much at your stats of every single player. But I mean, the mid stack coming out here, and Colo is going to be the interesting person to watch, but it's just a full cleanup here by RME. Not even the ultimate's able to be used here, so this Clay's wrestling one back with the Phantom. It's going to have to be like a 1v5 or something here from Clays.
That paranoia is going to make it hurt even more. I mean, Rojo's secures the pick by teleporting, killing himself.
Yeah, I mean, very selfless play there from Rojo. I'm well played enough by Clays. Not much you can do in that situation, right? Super well played by RME. That is the cohesion and the confidence that I feel like we've been lacking a lot from RME. Maybe finally finding their stride in this match.
Yeah, definitely. As I believe it was a bit of a force for BOBA, so they're going to be put back down on their money. I think they're only going to be able to get 3 guns next round, which, unless they force again, it might be a bit rough as Fufu does find 1. He finds 2.
Hold up. Fufu has gotten 2, and all of a sudden this is winnable. The aftershock goes out, and the spam lands just a little bit, but half has been gone on the spike. So Fufu swinging out of the smoke, almost cleans up Mr. Seed, but stays alive and manages to secure this 5th round here. Way closer than it ever should have been for RME, but I said a win is a win no matter how you get it. I believe it's a little, statistically speaking, it's a little bit less defender-sided after its rework, but I mean, still, it's a map that lends itself to a lot of plays like what Rudy just did, pushing inside of his own smoke to secure a shorty kill. Fossey pushing up aggressively up this ramp, but now is going to be flashed out, and it's just going to be a pinch in. Actually, the kill not secured. Mr. Seed's going to go down to Clays, but Fossey and Clays tagged up a little bit, and Rudy is still just laying in wait inside of the smoke. It's going to fade out, but he's got another one refreshing up soon, and CeeLo, she's going to pick up one more onto Fossey through the smoke. So now this is really, really bad for BOBA. You're in a 2v4. One of your players is fairly low. Paint Shell's even going to come out and possibly clear out some of these angles. Tagged up a little bit as Tofu, and it's just going to be cleaned up here. A pistol round for RME to start up, so I'm interested to see how that's going to go, but a lot of the attention is actually going to be on this B site instead. Trailblazer's going to go out to take out one of those tripwires, but Fossey's still caught by one, so CeeLo is going to get the easiest kill of her life. Mr. Seed picking up another one as well. It's all up to Colo here. So he finds one, tagged up in the back of the site though, low HP. CeeLo cleans it up, and Nemesis comes in to add the cherry on top, as it's the lurk player of Clays left all alone in a 1v3 situation.
And I'm pretty sure Nemesis heard him, or he just knows he's in nowhere, as Clay's not gonna expect him at all, but does apparently. Okay, never mind me. He gets 1, and this is actually doable. He has 50 seconds to work with, and CeeLo is hurt, so this could be really interesting.
CeeLo's super low. They know the position, but not quite able to get that spam onto CeeLo. The snakeback is going to force CeeLo's position. That allows them to isolate the fight. Clays now brings it down to a 1v1, but so much util sent out by Seed. But wait, he manages to dodge it, and now Clays has gotten so much damage down. This is winnable. Swapping to the classic Clays back turned. It's going to come down to these timings. What a positioning from Seed, but Clays manages to pick it up. 1v3, a 4K on the round, and Clays brings 9 to BOBA. Even forces them onto the eco here, so this should be a clean 10th unless we see something absolutely crazy. BOBA with a great bounce back, and the showstopper even popped by Fossey. They really want to secure this round. They get all of the site. Clays on the lurk is going to manage to pick up Rudy Rojo's, and so now 4v5 in the retake. This is looking great for BOBA.
Well, it's looking even better as Colo and Jiggly Tofu pick off again, and it looks like Seed might... Ooh, great right click as CeeLo can't find Clays, and it's to a 1v3 on the other side for Mr. Seed. Always last alive for RME. Can they find what Clays just did?
Yeah, no armor, but does have a Vandal here. Pinched in on multiple sides, but he's going to get the first one onto Fossey. So now it's all that's left is to deal with this crossfire. One in backside and one towards garage. Cleaned up by Jiggly Tofu. We are not going to say the same heroics that we saw in the last round for the side of RME. Completely silent by BOBA because they're just waiting to be set up in positions to assist this B push as a utility is going to start coming up. Fossey here on the first engagement, a player we keep wanting to step up, but it continues to elude him. He's now stuck in the back of the site, and two of his teammates are going to go down to CeeLo and Nemesis. So now this is dire situation as the Rolling Thunder even comes through. It is all up to Fossey in a 1v5, and surely this isn't going to be able to be winnable. Gets one onto Gigaberry, manages to turn the flash, and even gets the second onto Mr. Seed here. Tethered into the back of the site here. 1v3 and the paranoia goes out, but he's still managing to dodge this util, and he gets one more. Fossey, surely you do not pull off the 1v5. This would be absolutely devastating. Juggling all this utility, but finally shut down by the showstopper. How much can you send at one man? And still able to get a lot farther than I think any of us would have expected in those circumstances, but a loss is a loss nonetheless. And so now trying to stave off this map loss, but CeeLo looks to tie the knot here. She gets two more kills, and it's all these players of ramp force more up towards heaven. CeeLo manages to get two more, so on for the ace. Prowler sent out and position revealed, and it's gonna be CeeLo sealing it out with an ace. That's definitely going to be inspiring a lot of confidence for RME going into our third map of Haven.
They're doing anything. Yes, we saw that really nice clutch from Clays, but we need to see more from them as Army's going to be pushing up C into a 3-stack. This could be really interesting.
And Nemesis stunned up by the fault line, but with this dash ready, it is looking to be possibly this first contact, and is just going to do that, securing this first pick onto Fossey. Mr. Seed following up onto Fufo, and so now this is looking really, really rough for the side of BOBA. They've been strong on their retakes, but with a 2-player disadvantage, this is looking really, really rough. Clays even cleaned up through the smoke by CeeLo. So now this is all on Tofu and Colo. Colo goes down after getting one. Tofu also picking up one, but 1v3 situation, and it's just Rudy Rojo aggressing in the site to stall out a little bit of time. Cleaned up eventually, but the time is already halfway gone, and the plant is also so far back. Manages to avoid the fault line, getting spammed from the side. Manages to get one more on CT, but the time played, Mr. Seed might die, but the round is... Well, actually, Mr. Seed even gets it, but nonetheless, an opening round for RME. Because, I mean, you'll take what you can get, especially against a team like BOBA that's shown to have some really high highs in this league. A heavy hit onto the A site, and it's going to be a lot of utility going out. The teleport up into heaven. Jigglytofu manages to get one on Mr. Seed. A lot of players stacked up onto the site here. Colo even gets one more, so the players are keeping it fairly close. One more is secured, and Fufo is able to get one more, and no way, Colo also picks it up out of nowhere. It seems like finally the curse returns.
Push out through B with Rojos could find the timing on the Clays if they're not paying attention. What a shot from Giga.
What a, yeah, crazy shot from Giga. Could we see back-to-back thrifties possibly? That would be heartbreaking for BOBA. You just snuffed out the
Rojos.
Oh, what a lurk. Yeah, Fossey goes down to Rudy. And so now things are being teed up for another thrifty. Clays manages to stabilize for two, holding it out in the back of the B site. Flashed up again, but he tosses out his own paranoia to cover himself. Jigglytofu here to support now, and he's gonna pick up one more. So now it's looking like it's been stabilized, but CeeLo actually manages to get one more, and a rifle recovered for CeeLo. So all of a sudden it's a 1v2 for Clays, and low HP as well. Getting the 1v1 onto Rudy Rojos, a bit of an overextension there, brought down to 4 HP. 1v1, CeeLo tossing out the fault line, knows that it's low, and CeeLo's gonna clean it up. So another thrifty, neither of these teams backing down. What a great play. Hunter's Fury coming through, and does manage to get the tag. Gets a second tag as well. Mr. Speed able to dodge it. A lot of damage dealt. So Rudy Rojos wraps back around through the A main. Going into sewer, Mr. Seed noting the flank of Colo, pinched out by Rudy. So now this is getting pretty rough here for the side of BOBA as they have to make it work with lesser weaponry and less players. Kills going back and forth. Fufu manages to get two. This could be pulled off, but the shock dart's coming down. Fufu's traded back. Fossey stepping up for one. Flash on the spike and a great peek. Not even the half obtained. So it's all down to Fossey. And it's cleaned up by Mr. Seed. Another round for RME here. In fact, and possibly see BOBA start to streak together some rounds.
If they're going to do it, they have to do it now.
I mean, this is Haven. Haven is fairly attacker-sided, but still, you need to be getting probably 5 on your defensive side, so a lot of work still to be done. Flashes are coming out. Clay is only good for 1, and Gigaberry is also going to clean up Fufu. So now 3v5 here, and another layer here from Mr. Seed is going to just catch Tofu with his pants down. Colo, you have to be the hero, manages to wrestle back too and drops the spike. Fossey managed to cut off the flank and reposition from Mr. Seed. So now Gigaberry pushing up into a bit of an awkward position here. He might get swung out, confirmed towards the garage though, and so now Gigaberry has a chance in this though. Has to reload and Colo will clean it up. And so finally we see BOBA wrestling back around.
He's gonna stay here. He could be able to find his lurk timing as he does know Mr. Seed's there. This could be very interesting for the side of BOBA.
Yeah, I mean, the audio cue set up Fossey, and this cage even is on a forward position is going to allow Fossey to push up with some confidence. So now, Fossey able to stop the initial hit here. Has to be good for at least one more, I feel. Either that or Tofu, who's in here to support. We need to see some stuff from Fossey. Nemesis picks it up, though. And so now, Tofu, alone in the back of the site with a Spectre. Brought to low HP, manages to get one on the Nemesis, but traded back by CeeLo. And CeeLo with an insane shot! Gets 3! Collateral to 2 of the players, so now it's all up to Clays. Clays teleporting in and closes it out, though. Insane heroics from CeeLo. But it's all for naught.
On the side of Nemesis, and there's a lot of ults out as Rudy Rojos teleports on the B.
Yeah, getting an insane lurk, but Fossey none the wiser. Bladestorm on both sides. So it's going to be a man advantage here for BOBA. Along with the utility and gun advantage, Clay is able to clean up Nemesis. The right click does not go right, and so Fufu manages to pick up one more, and this is looking like another round for BOBA. I said that.
I mean, I'm just seeing very good things from the side of BOBA.
Yeah, Plant goes down on the A site here, so maybe CeeLo and Mr. Seed could find something aggressive into the site is Fossey with the Blade Storm, and it doesn't go well. So all of a sudden, CeeLo is teed up for another interesting play, but it's closed out by Colo. Gets a little bit stressful. 3 players go down on the retake, but still around for BOBA. Nemesis getting aggressive on C-Long here. It's a pinch coming in from Garage, so it all falls onto Clays. Pushing into the smoke. Clays gets 1, Clays gets 2! It's traded back by CeeLo though, so it's at least kept somewhat even, and Colo even getting more. So now it's a 1v4 out of nowhere, and Colo picks up the third. A incredibly quick end to an incredibly intense and close half. I don't know who's going to go on the next streak. Do we see BOBA continue their strength as they transfer onto the attacking side? Do we see RME maybe run away with another streak of rounds? We have no idea what's going to be happening with these. And Fufu manages to pick up one. Rudy Rhodes going down, and Fossey gets 1 more, so it looks like the streak will be continued, but Nemesis has something else to say about it, taking out the Fufu on Lurk, and Gigaberry even gets 1 more through the smoke. And so now it's a round possibly for RME, as it's all left up to Clays. Manages to equalize it into 1v1, and it's also incredibly low health from CeeLo. Gets the flash off, confirms the position, gets a little bit of damage. Aftershock goes through as well, and it's not planted for Clays, so he has to lurk up through his own smoke. Held to half, and CeeLo holds her nerve. It's called, the bluff is called by Clays though, so CeeLo now feels the need to push through the smoke, and Clays secures it. An 8th round here from BOBA rather. And just overall, such a strong setup and attack side here from BOBA. Colo continuing his dominance throughout this matchup. Fossey, Blade Storm enabled. We've seen a good amount of success, but Clay's actually going to get the early initiation. Colo goes down early. Fossey towards the back of the, towards the default plant position is going to have to deal with Nemesis, but it's actually Jigglytofu to get it. Fufu with an Odin spam as well. And this is all equalized to a 2v2 as Gigaberry gets 1 more with the Sheriff. Gigaberry with an insane double tap from the Sheriff as well. So it's now down to a 1v1 against none other than Clays, the person to open up the round to actually just move up into an off angle. Con Dart though sent out is going to confirm his position, so Clays is just going to back further off. Smoke sent down too long. Gigaberry, you're running out of time. You have to add some pace to this. The fake teleport sent out to just create a little bit of paranoia in the back of the head. Gigaberry taps the spike, seems to be waiting, but Clays is just too good in the clutch, and he closes it out for 12. Has not found a lot of success for RME and could spell the demise as the lockdown will come out, so it's most likely gonna have to be a retake situation. CeeLo, the site, good for 1, but traded back by Colo, and we could be seeing the end of this series.
Yeah, definitely, as we're gonna have 2 heaven. We got Rolling Thunder coming out, hitting 3 on the side of RME, delaying them even further. And we know how good BOBA is at managing the time of the bomb, so this could be really scary for RME.
Yeah, BOBA wanting to guarantee that plant going down. They've done just that. Colo getting 1 more from the long position, traded back by Mr. Seed, but this looks like it is all over as Fufu gets 1 more. Fufu with another, and Fufu to close it out with a 3K. I said that they were the glue that held this team together, and they will step up in the final round of Haven.